I am amazed by the outpouring of love and respect to our dear friend Nida, weeks before and after her demise, indicating that she was a very special person in many ways. And I am grateful for this privilege of being a part of this celebration of life. A number of you already knew me, as most of you are our mutual friends. But for those of you who don't, my name is John Blaza of Dayton, Ohio. About 50 years ago, I met Nida at Mountain View College, a Christian school located in a remote but beautiful, quaint, cool, and countryside setting on top of a hill in the boonies of Bukidnon, situated in the midst of Mindanao, Philippines. But for me, it was a lonesome place, a reformatory school where troublesome kids were sent to learn their best behavior, a place away from the hustles and bustles of a city life. And I have always desired to go home because I was sure I was not one of them. But that desire was overruled by my parents, who dreamt of me being sent to be educated in an Adventist school. To avert my feelings of nostalgia, I would sit anywhere allowed in the campus in my spare time, mainly in my room in the dormitory, and leisurely sketch whatever comes to mind, whether a portrait, landscape, or anything funny and silly. Young men in the boys' dorm, more senior than I am, noticed this knack for sketching and thought that it had to be put to good use to make Sabbath greetings for their special someone in the girls' dorm. I found it worthwhile because my feeling of nostalgia slowly went away and I gained more and more friends in the process. That was where I saw the name Nida Asombrado for the first time, because two young men were asking me to make greetings for her. Curious of who she was, I asked around just randomly, not intently. And then one day I spotted her with a group of young ladies laughing and giggling on their way to the cafeteria. Days went by and I spotted her again, but this time singing while strumming the guitar. And I finally met her at the auditorium where the music room was located and got acquainted with her. My impression of Mountain View College was changed because I met her and some of the most amazing students of the campus, contrary to what I initially thought. But that acquaintance was short-lived as she decided to pursue her BSN degree in Thailand. Years rolled by, but as fate would have it, our paths have crossed again, and this time at Manila Sanitarium and Hospital, now renamed Adventist Medical Center, Manila, not as students but as co-workers. I worked there as a nurse and later on one of the nursing supervisors. I worked at the outpatient department services as a family and industrial medicine physician, and later on moved to pursue my residency in general surgery. Nida and I shared many common interests together, but had one inclination in particular that led us to a close camaraderie, and that is the love for singing. So we found ourselves in constant company in occasions like singing band, AY programs, musical concerts, and became co-hosts of similar gatherings. As days went by, we shared thoughts and insights on personal matters and yes, about her love life as well. And I became one of her confidants when she was pursuing the man of her dreams. By all means. And when she did, or they did, a beautiful love story began, and the rest was history. Each of us had set forth and ventured on our own to the land of plenty to pursue that ever-popular American dream. She went first, and I still vividly remember that time when we sent her off for her flight to the US. She just couldn't let go. She tarried a while, chatting, talking, taking photos, even after we already said our goodbyes. We draped her with some Pagita garlands around her neck for good luck. She then rushed to the terminal where we couldn't see her anymore. But when we started off to get back to the car, we heard her hollering, asking us to wait for her. When asked what happened, she said that the plane had already taken off as she bellowed her usual loud, uvula-revealing guffaw we call bahakhak. This was just one of her goofy traits, being late for almost every occasion. I could relate to you many other versions, but Andrew gave me only 5 minutes, and I have a feeling that she might be late for the final part of this occasion. But I would rather very much that she rise up and join us in this celebration and hear her laughter once again. I really miss her. So on to the USA. We picked up from where we have left off. She and Placido attended my wedding with Glenda in Dayton, Ohio in 1986, when they had only Andrew and David, while Deborah was still about 3 to 4 months in her womb. We called each other on occasions when we were not too busy, just to keep in touch, sometimes chatting into the wee hours of the night, just about anything to be a better person in all aspects of living, about family life, about parenting, and career paths that we wanted our kids to take, who are now all doctors themselves. On a personal note, perhaps just like some of you, I found her amusing in her quirky ways. She was unique, one of a kind, lovable yet sometimes silly, sly, and tricky. She was caring, she was compassionate and kind-hearted. She was naturally a happy person, and she accomplished so much for what little time she had. She was sweet, gentle, and a vibrant soul. Contagious and signature laughter predominated amidst all cacophony of squeals and squawks of a crowded room. She was the life of a party, the flavor of each meal, the light of a darkened room, the hope of a struggling class reunion. She was very smart, clever, yet very tactful. She was convincing, charismatic, a philanthropist who supported a group or a person for a good cause. She forgets things not because she was absent-minded, but because she was preoccupied with many things going on in her mind, subliminally planning out for the next task, whether business ventures, parties, meetings, weddings, birthdays, graduations, and such. She was always on the go, to the point of forgetting usual articles that she used as the keys to her car. One time in Houston, Texas, prior to attending our friend's daughter's wedding, she took all the ladies, including my wife, to the beauty shop to have their hair done. When we got there, she asked me if she could use my phone because in her hurry, she forgot hers. Right after she made the call, hurriedly again, she asked me to drive with her to get something from the store. 5 minutes later, while driving, I asked her about my phone, and she said, "Oh my goodness, I left it at the counter in the beauty salon." So we drove back, and thank goodness it was there on the counter where she left it. She was a legend, a combination of power and beauty inside and out. A true example of sweet camaraderie. But more importantly, she was a devoted wife to Dr. Roquiz, my compadre Placido, to her three children, Andrew, David, and Deborah, who are all doctors too, and to their spouses. She is also a doting grandmother to all her grandchildren. Now that you are gone, a piece of me died also in all aspects of our camaraderie. We have loved to grow old with you, exchanging pleasantries of all the successes and failures of our lives for as much as we can. But thank you for the great times and the precious memories, all 50 years that I will always cherish. Remember that line of the song we used to sing together in the years gone by that goes, "Wherever you're going, I'm going your way." I am looking forward to see you again in that resurrection morn. But until then, sleep in heavenly peace in God's bosom, my dear friend. Thank you.